just to be sure that it's working. Oh, just a second. Okay, that's good. Thank you very much for your kind invitation, as always. And thanks for joining us today within this conference. My name is Bora Yavuz, and I am a survey engineer, let's say geomatics engineer by the training. And I joined Autodesk like 2.5 years ago. And before that, I was working for some global companies like Geosystems in the surveying ground, and also Faro laser scanning devices as a sales manager in Turkey. And after that, from 2017 and between 2017 and 2023, I run my own business, which is mostly related to 3D modeling and some scanning services. So what we are going to see today with you is mostly related to, maybe this corner is better, related to the Autodesk University 2025. So I will start with this legal statement, which is called Safe Harbor Statement, because what I'm going to show you and what I'm going to talk about is mostly feature-looking statements. So I'm not promising anything soon, but just want to convey this idea that Autodesk is working on some developments for future products. So Autodesk announced industry clouds a couple of years ago. Have you ever heard about industry clouds? Can I see your hands? Okay, a few of us. So let me go through this concept, because this is the feature of Autodesk Platform and Autodesk products in the upcoming feature. Once we are dealing with the industry platforms, industry cloud, we are talking about three different industries. One is AECO, Architecture, Engineering, Construction and Operations, and this is our industry cloud, which is called Forma. Okay, and then for the manufacturing and the production industry, this is called Autodesk Vision, and for media and entertainment, our industry cloud is called Flow. So what is it all about? Imagine, I like to call this as a sandwich. Imagine that you have a sandwich. In the bottom, you have Autodesk Platform Services. So these platform services enable the users to script their own codes with the available APIs on top of the Autodesk products and create their own customization on top of Autodesk products. And in between the interface and Autodesk Platform Service, we have the AEC in terms of, I'm talking about the Forma in terms of AEC data model. So what is a data model? This is actually how you structure and how you store your data within your own ecosystem. Can I see the hands of the people who are utilizing Autodesk Construction Cloud so far at any stage? Okay, perfect. So the data model is actually based on our cloud system. Okay, so for the ones who have been storing the information and data within Autodesk Construction Cloud, they actually have a kind of data model approach already. And on top of these two components, we have the Autodesk Forma. Autodesk Forma, maybe you heard about the Autodesk Forma as a standalone product within a couple of years. It was used for conceptual design stage, and it has empowered by some AI functionalities here and there, like analytics, like generative design tools, etc. But now we are going to see Forma as a whole bunch of products merged together. When I'm saying the bunch of products, which is mainly, I'm telling about the BIM products. Okay, so this is the concept, and this is the industry clouds that we are going to see in the near future. And this leads us to something maybe you have not considered so far. So all this data stored in your ecosystem, I mean in your Autodesk ecosystem, will be transformed into information, and this information is being utilized for you to create meaningful outcomes. Meaning, imagine that I have completed several projects, and all this project information was stored in my personal, company, ACC environment. And all these BIM models have been developed since, let's say, decades. And all this information and the data I have been storing within this ecosystem will be used by your own AI to make you more efficient and make you more faster in your next creations. Okay? And just saying with Autodesk AI, I would like to emphasize the importance of the ISO standards, which was previously mentioned. So the cybersecurity and the cloud and all this ISO compliance is done by Autodesk, and you don't need to worry about anything else. So if you have some questions and some doubts within this kind of information storage, you can just go to our website at trust/autodesk.com, and you can learn more about the standards we are being compliant to. And this year, mostly with the keynotes of Andrew, our CEO, mostly they were focusing on some innovations. And these innovations had AI integration, more extended capabilities on collaboration and data integration, and some upcoming features with the beta programs. And there were some live demonstrations even was staged on the main area, conference hall, and it was quite an impressive one. I will talk about it later on, but I would like to start from the concepts first. So, can I see the hands of the people who are familiar with MCP concept? Model Context Protocol. Okay. So, let me explain what Model Context Protocol is. So, you store some data in some place, some server or some cloud area. So, Model Context Protocol is the main tool that restructures the data in order to make it possible for the future stages for AI use. Okay, so you have many different siloed information stored somewhere, but the good thing of MCP is just like going to all this data and information. It restructures and makes makes the data AI ready. Okay, so these model context protocols were announced, and this is going to be our main focus within a couple of within the upcoming years, because these are the key elements for AI. Okay, so in long story in short, MCPs are going to be the one tool that enable you talk to your Revit model, for example. Okay. Because you have the data in one side, and you have the language model in one side, and MCPs will be the connection in between. Okay. And with help of MCPs, we also announced this Autodesk Assistant project beta. So Autodesk Assistant is not one single product. It is all over the place. It's spread out all over the Autodesk Platform Services, Autodesk authoring tools, and Autodesk Construction Cloud. So once you have your assistant enabled in Construction Cloud, for example, you will be able to filter and structure your data in order to create more meaningful outcomes from, for example, your reporting, just like a natural language. And other than that, if you for example, imagine that this assistant is working for you in AutoCAD environment. So basically, you are telling your AutoCAD to draw something for you within your natural language. So this is actually the concept of Autodesk Assistant placed in different stages and different levels of user products. One example, Autodesk Assistant embedded AI in Revit section. So you are seeing one chat box here. Is it visible from backside? So there's one chat box here. It is giving you the chance to talk to your Revit model and get inquiries from this Revit model. For example, give me the numbers of the doors which is located in level 1. Just type it and it will give you the results. Or make a change from this facade. I want the proportion of the window opening like 60% of the overall wall. Then it will come up with the ideas. Okay? So this is very important to understand that Autodesk Assistant will be embedded in many stages of your design and construction work. Another application of Autodesk AI, so creation of RFIs. Who use build here? Does anyone use build? Okay, so in build, this is the most important part of the build in my point of view, creating forms and creating RFIs, getting information from the field and storing this information, creating some meaningful outcomes like insights and reports. So this RFI creation box now has an addition on top. So once you open this box with creating one RFI, it will give you a prompt line like this. So you can easily type what kind of RFI you want from the field, from the people, who you want to add additional information, who you want to be authorized by giving the answers, by prompting here, and then it will create your RFI on the fly. Okay, so other embedded function is also being useful for submittals, for issues, so for insights, for model inquiry as well. And another example of Forma AI. Forma, I'll just restart this slide, but I like to see how many of you used Forma as a concept design tool before? Okay. Okay. I don't count you. I don't count you. So very few of us experienced the Forma's capabilities. So let me explain Forma. So Forma was a cloud-based generative AI tool that is being used for mass and site creation. And it was giving us the possibility to create many concepts within a short period of time with different alternatives. And also it helps us to analyze the data with sunlight, with wind, with climate, with noise, with many other inputs that you can put inside the analytic tools. So Forma has changed a little bit. When I say change a little bit, it actually goes in a direction that is going to be merged with Revit. So we are going to see that there wouldn't be any differentiation between the concept design and advanced design. So we are going to do it all in one product. Okay. So what you are seeing here is that one of the functionality embedded in, let me start over the video, embedded in Forma. It starts with a simple creation, and the user is asking Forma to analyze the sunlight within this particular mass and wants to maximize the sunlight getting in the apartments. Okay? And Forma is now able to create the floor plans. Mila, I think you like it. So floor plans, we can have an understanding of LOD 200. Okay? So mass is there, site is there, and in addition we have the floor plans, and the analytic tools will work within the floor plans as well. And other than that, in the real-time demonstration in the US, they also type some other functions, some other prompts to do some changes on the facade, for example. So one of the examples was they typed to change the dimensions of the balconies on the facades to have a better shade and light proportion for the incoming sunlight. And then they also changed the facade by changing the dimensions of the windows openings, like width and height. So it is done only by natural language. Okay, so there's no touch, no drag, no drop, no resize, only prompts. So this is the stage we are heading to. And again, just a couple of sentences ago, I said the Revit and Forma will become a single unified product, and all these analytic tools will be available in both. So this is representing a kind of wind and climate analysis, and this information goes back and forth from Forma to Revit, Revit to Forma. And meanwhile, you will be able to see that all this information created in Forma within LOD 200 will be available in Revit for further stage development. Again, one of your pain points, the model compliance and also the model coordination. AMC is standing for model compliance, but you can also take it as model coordination. So with the help of AI, we are going to see that the model's standards compliance will be checked by AI. So you don't need to worry about your designers having some mistake, making some mistakes on some standards application. So you just run it by your natural language, as always, and it's going to give you some non-compliant elements on the fly. And then you'll just easily implement the changes and the retouches within your model. And also the coordination across disciplines. We are focusing on coordination as well, because coordination might be so problematic in some cases, because we have many disciplines like architecture, mechanical, electrical, and electrical has many different small pieces and parts all over the model, and sometimes mechanical has so it is very complicated. It becomes very complicated and annoying sometimes to coordinate these models and clarify all these mistakes, and errors. So with the help of AI, we are going to see that all these compliance issues and the coordination issues will be detected, and in advance, we as users will be notified, hopefully. And granular data. This actually, maybe some of you may heard that this cross-industry platform, some of the facade builders, they use Inventor in order to detail their aluminum or whatever metal they are using to further details for the manufacturing, and they get information from the Revit data. Okay, so Revit concept and the detail LOD 200, 300 detail data will be exported into Inventor, and the Inventor user takes these dimensions and goes for further manufacturing steps. But the thing is that with the granular data concepts, we don't need to convert all this Revit file to an Inventor file. So from now on, you are not going to transform any data. I mean, any file needed to be transferred could be classified and just conceptualized within the granular data, and only the necessary file parts will be transferred into the third parties or other Autodesk softwares. When I'm saying this, you see this facade, you see this windows and some layers of the concrete slabs and some columns, etc. So you don't need to convert all model from Revit to X. You just simply select the components that the other person needs and then just send them as separate granular data to the person who is interested in some part of it. Okay? So it is actually a new concept that is allowing us to input even more information and more semantic data into the objects itself. Because once we are dealing with Inventor, for example, it's under millimeter, It's a very detailed manufacturing model. But in Revit, we don't have such, level of detail, because it is only allowing us to work with millimeters, maybe a couple of millimeters. But with this, we are going to see that Autodesk products will be talking to each other seamlessly with over this granular data. And after this granular data being enabled, this model analytics is also can be experienced, let me say, because as you see here in the picture, there are many different types of models located in one hangar, okay, manufacturing environment, coming from let's say factory design utilities, coming from advanced steel, coming from Revit, etc., etc. So these models are from many different authoring tools. But with the granular data approach, we can go through all these models being produced by different authoring tools by Autodesk, but we are going to have an identification of one singular data model, so that we can inquire any kind of analytics from these models. So as a mechanical engineer, this guy may be interested in this machine. And as a structural engineer, the guy next to him is interested in the steel structure of the roof carriers, okay? So all this information will be available for all of them. And one very impressive demonstration they did was creating an air fryer on the fly and creating the marketing material within the PowerPoint. So what they did was, I'm going to explain it and I'm going to tell you what it's all about. So they opened a new project in Fusion. They just typed, I want an air fryer. I want an air fryer, and air fryer gives a kind of approach on the fly, a very basic draft. And then the guy iterated the draft design, like change the handle with the chrome color, change the volume from 2 liters to 3 liters, change the height from this centimeters to that centimeters, replace the button from the size to the top, you know? So this kind of change is done, and then each one of the iterations were on the fly, just like an animation. In the Fusion, we saw it happening, okay? And then the funny thing is that the other guy, which is not a designer, but who is the marketer, he joined this conversation with Fusion and says, I want a marketing material to present this to my CEO, you know? So what did Fusion in the background is Autodesk AI start talking to another AI, okay, which is Microsoft AI, running in Copilot. So agent-to-agent communication started, and this information you see here is just rendered by Copilot, reading by the 3D information coming from Fusion. These pictures were created on the fly within a couple of minutes, with a matter of 5 minutes maybe. And then all these marketing slogans here and all this, you know, different color options being populated within PowerPoint. So it's quite a fun. But the thing is that we need to understand what kind of technology lying behind, okay? So one AI to another means we are at this doorstep of agentic AI. This means that imagine a world that you are using Copilot daily because you have a subscription to Microsoft products like Outlook, Teams, OneNote, OneDrive, whatever, and you have the Copilot access. Imagine that you just had a link with Autodesk AI and you type on your Copilot, let's start creating one building which has 5-story, looks like a Serbian Zemun, you know, traditional apartment, let's say, and then put in the context of Danube River and give a starting point to that, okay? Then it will talk to the Autodesk AI and open Revit, or in the future become Forma. It will open Forma, start from the conceptual design, and it will give you a kind of context to start with. instead of a blank sheet. Okay? So, in my point of view, it is so long-awaited because within these 2 years, it was also mentioned that AI is coming from, you know, in Autodesk universities and OTCs that we are going to, that we have attended. They were talking about AI is coming, but we saw that AI has come within this Autodesk university. And some reflections of AI is also being implemented in Tandem, which is our digital twin solution for the facility management and operations. So, for the ones who are familiar with the digital twin concepts and the levels of digital twin, we are now giving our clients to utilize their digital twin as a predictive level, predictive digital twin level. So, the level 0 is just a physical representative of the basic model, and then level 2 is the model linked with some IoT sensors, getting some data from the field to the digital twin. And then the third level, if I'm not mistaken, is the digital twin of prediction. So this will analyze the data in the backend, and it will give you some insights and some warnings in advance if you are having some troubles within a couple of hours, for example. So imagine that we have the conference room here, and some of the ventilation is going crazy and starts heating us like to 30 degrees, 35 degrees. So this is monitored by the IoT sensor, and this information is feeding our stream in the digital twin, and digital twin will warn you, saying that, Bora, the conference room temperature is going crazy, you should turn off the whatever, AC. And the bonus, neural CAD. So with the air fryer example, I was talking about some technology behind. So the technology behind is neural CAD. This is a trained CAD, generative CAD model, which is like 20 years of experience and 20 years of data collection. So anything you are seeing here, like a handheld camera, iron, a flashlight, a toy car, etc. These are trained geometries from open sources and also some resources that Autodesk could reach for data creation, data train. So Autodesk has a separate group of people. They are highly educated, and they do their academical degrees, and they have been working with this kind of neural CAD maybe since beginning of 2000s. So it is long ago. It started long ago. Maybe some of you heard Project Bernini. Anyone knows about Project Bernini? Okay. So the Project Bernini is a kind of, let's say, backbone of this neural CAD. So understanding your sketches matches with the 3D information which is coming from the trained model, and it converts your sketches into something solid. Okay? So all the technology we are going to is here. So if I say something for the last words, I would say, maybe I would ask one question to you: how ready you are in terms of, embracing this technology? Because this technology will be enabled through Construction Cloud. Most of the cases we are talking about the data storage, but it's not data storage anymore. It's the data management tool. Okay. Thank you very much for listening, and if any questions.
Bora, what would be the best practice for the company to move forward AI and data strategy?
Okay. First of all, I would like to understand if the audience here using any kind of AI, like maybe ChatGPT in personal life or Copilot in the corporate life. Can I see the hands of the people who are utilizing kind of technology? Okay, almost everyone of us. So, have you think about your strategy, how you are taking the advantage of this technology? It's just pumped into your life, right? So it was just one night you said, oh, there's a ChatGPT, why don't I use it? But in corporate life, it doesn't work this way. So you need to train your data, train your AI with your own, ecosystem of information and data. To do that, you need to have a proper strategy. So my advice would be, humble advice would be, starting from Autodesk Construction Cloud. So all these previous slides that you've seen, especially from work is a construction cloud in detail, is actually giving you the chance to store and train your AI with own data. So this will be your data, this will be your ecosystem, and AI will learn from you. So this would be my humble advice if the people want to strategize their adoption of AI for the upcoming 5 years maybe. They can start with the data accumulation within some safe environment.
Okay, dan het pitanje?
Right. Good. Thank you.
No questions. Thank you very much.